About Jung.
I think the purpose of this is, just to Kiwi dudes that know Kiwi business, talking about business, in a real context, without all the jargon, without all the guru shit, disruption, innovation, pivoting, fucking ebooks and all that kind of stuff, and just having a real down-to-earth yarn about real business.
I think there's a real need within this group, but within the greater business community, for some like Jung says, some solid business advice without all the crap, without all the needing to chuck your email in and get a bloody blah 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 and all of the stuff that people, these people are doing out there in the business. We just want to be real, so we kind of just wanted to use a bit of a platform to address that and try and have a bit of fun while we do that. Yeah.
Who's got some good yarns about real business? The real challenges. And I love Cam's comment. Steady sales wise, it has taken some creativity to do so.
Yeah, I like it.
And that's true pre-lockdown, COVID, no COVID, recession, boom, bounce phase, whatever you want to, like, you need to stay relevant. Like, so tonight, 5:30, I'm kind of maybe getting ready for dinner or whatever, kind of, trying to turn the laptop off. And my barber calls me. Like, hey, I know there's been massive queues. It has taken some creativity, and I know, you've been wanting to get a haircut and all that kind of stuff. So do you want to come in now? I'll stay open late. Bounce phase.
Is that why you're looking so sharp?
Like you need to stay. I wake up like so tonight, 5:30. But I mean, see, that's creativity, but that's relevance.
Fuck all of the process stuff you've been trying to work on and all the rest of it. Client focused. You can figure it out. You can work a bit harder. Deliver massive value. That's kind of the perspective of us coming on a Tuesday night. So kind of lock it in. It'll be 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night.
Yo, what's up? Oh, yeah, dude. Okay. Okay, you be quiet. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Ange? What's up, Haley? Everybody that's already tuning in, hey, welcome to the show. Say what's up below in the comments. Welcome to the conversation. Definitely, I think the goal here is to make it a conversation. Hey, what's up, Eliza? Hey, Nick Hoyle, hello. Thanks for viewing. Give us a wave or hey, Flavio, what's up? Welcome to the conversation. Today, you're right. So this is a part of the series, episode 6. Today, we're going to be talking about, real topics that after speaking to hundreds, probably close to thousands of businesses, especially New Zealand businesses, over all the years that I've noticed that are real issues for New Zealand businesses. Last week we talked about loneliness, and today we're talking about this feeling or the sense that as business owners we get, like, are my products and services, aka offerings, are my offerings really that attractive to the market? Are they on point? Is my pricing right? It's this weird kind of sense of uncertainty around it. And this is a conversation, so keen on your guys' thoughts in kind of 3 areas. What do you think the causes are, or what have you experienced that the causes are? What's the impact that it's had on your business, right? Sales are low, as an example, or, the margins aren't quite right because of the pricing that we're having to compete with. And, hey, we'll share some solutions that, that we've found, but keen on any solutions that you've had too, right? Because I think, again, if we can foster a bit of a community aspect to the show, we can all get together and kind of help each other out. There's a lot of power, I think, when business owners talk to other business owners.
Just want to check in. I'm running a new mic tonight, so I'm back. Sounds crap. Let me. Yeah, we're obviously still in tech of streaming. Yeah, but hey, it's good to have everyone on. There's 20 of you who jumped on, so exciting. Yeah, jump in, have a bit of a chat with us. Talking a real kind of open discussion about business and about what's happening. So
Yeah, so
It's your deodorant, bro.
well, I guess I was actually struck down with a bit this week, so it really slowed me just back in the flow this week. So I think for context, John, our my voice needs to be turned up. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, it sounds like you're like echoing and you're far away. It's like you put the phone on speaker and you're like, you put me on the bench and you're cooking and you're like,
Hey, is
yeah,
that any
dude.
better? That's just about hitting red line. Yeah, nah.
Have you got? When you're close to it, it's good.
Yeah, okay. Well, if it's terrible, let us know again. I guess we'll just mic or something. We'll get there. We'll get there. Aussie. So yeah, Jung, I think for you sort of started to sort of. Jung explained it perfectly. Yeah. Okay. And I've cranked the volume now, Dan. So if it's still no good, then itself. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I'll frame up today, and you
Yeah.
ditch the mic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So the slide is saying now, you know, are your products and services attractive enough? And hey, so keen on your guys' thoughts, right? Have you had this feeling? You know, have you had this sense? You know, what does it mean to you, or do you know or not know what the hell that means? So I'll kind of start with a bit of a definition, right? And it's and Flavia will know this too from a tech startup thing is, you know, there's a whole series of steps that they take to try and work at market fit. It's kind of what we're talking about here, market fit. Yeah, right, cool. You know, so what it feels like is just the sense that, man, I'm pretty sure there's a gap in the market here. You know, even if I'm a plumber, you know, which is a pretty easy market to kind of crack, right? Everyone needs a plumber kind of thing. But man, I'm not getting as much sales as I would have wanted. You know, I'm not cracking the $1 million a year. I'm not cracking the 100 grand a year. You know, whatever your relative goal is.
Did you even see that?
Oh.
I took the old mic out and this thing just went boing, smacked me in the face. Okay, does that sound any better? Whoever's on, I'm going to have to sit here and talk like I'm holding an ice cream or a lollipop now.
Better.
Sounds better?
Sounds better. Yeah, right. So there's a sense that, you know, are my products good enough? Are they priced well enough? Et cetera, et cetera. And that's really it. You know, again, if I go back to my time talking to lots of business owners, and you know, still currently with just a lot less clients, really, is you know, what are your major problems? Is, oh man, loneliness, market fit, marketing itself, and finding good people are usually the top four.
Mm-hmm.
And so this topic, right, around yeah, market fit, or are my products and services, which we're going to refer to as offerings, because it encapsulates both products and services.
But if you're a
so just
product-based business or a service-based business or whatever you do, yeah. Feedback looks like the microphone is heaps better now, so that's great. Thank you.
Heaps better, bro.
Yeah, cool, sweet.
Heaps
All right,
better,
well, we'll
bro.
ditch that one.
Right, and so yeah, you know what, and what we'll go to is now the impact. So yeah, again, man, keen on your guys' thoughts on, you know, that sense of, you know, we're not sure whether we've got the right market fit or not, what impact that's had on you or the business or the team or sales conversions or revenue or whatever that is.
Or you're having to discount to compete, or are you having to, you know, constantly sort of price match? Are you getting people that are running comparisons with you and other businesses? And that's a real thing that you can start to question. You know, have you got the right? Are you in the right positioning and in the right game even? So, yeah, and I know certainly, you know, particularly if your business is quite commoditized, if you're selling the same product as a lot of other businesses, that can be a very real question. And then you start to go, well, you know, your margins start to get squeezed and it gets tough. So I guess part of the conversation, Jung, is about how can we give some strategies and ideas, not just jump to solutions straight away, but about how they can, if they're in that type of operation, how they can start to separate themselves.
Yeah, 100% right. So that's how we'll go for this topic tonight. We'll talk about the causes, right, and what causes it. Then we'll talk about the impacts. You know, and one of the impacts is like, shit, I don't have any other tools in my toolbox, so I'm going to start competing on price.
Mm.
So that's one impact, and then we'll jump to solutions, right? And again, just keen on any of the viewers' thoughts on the matter. Otherwise, we'll just roll, and you guys just gotta listen to us. And then so one of the causes, right, is, well, yeah, if we're honest, right, it's don't get me wrong, right? All businesses. So as an example, YouTube didn't know it was going to be a cracker. Facebook didn't know it was going to be a cracker. Yeah, this big unicorn behemoth thing that it's kind of turned into. So there is a little bit of uncertainty, but what we know, right, in business is that, man, if you haven't done your avatar work, keep coming back to avatar. If you haven't done that, or you've done a shitty job of it, or you got it wrong, and so you're operating off that hypothesis that there is a gap in the market when you don't even know the market, it increases your chance of developing an offering that's not relevant or not valuable to the market. But from when you're already in play, when you're already in business and you're starting to feel like that, I think one of the causes that causes this feeling of, lack of market fit or low confidence in our market fit is low sales.
Yep.
So sales aren't where they want us to be, where we want them to be. And it's just like, man, is my marketing wrong? Is my sales wrong? Is my product wrong? Is my pricing wrong? That's one of the other causes. Then the other one that can kind of indirectly cause this sense of, my offering doesn't have great market fit is, the branding and the messaging. We just haven't got that, appropriate, either one to your market or to the level of value that your offering has for the market. So if you're trying to sell a $10,000 product and you've got some shitty messaging and branding, it's just not going to work, right? Well, 9 times out of 10 anyway.
So typically, in your experience, what are some of the things that, is it more of a mindset thing, or is it more of a, struggle around not knowing? Or I'm keen to hear a little bit deeper on that.
Yeah, good question. Look, and I know you've got some insight onto this too. So the one thing I was going to say before I get to mindset, right, is it can be caused by shitty marketing systems or not, inadequate marketing systems or shitty or inadequate sales systems, right? So you might have a good product or good offering with some reasonable branding, some reasonable messaging, and just terrible marketing in terms of the systems that attract, nurture, and then convert a lead into a qualified lead or even a sale, or your sales systems, right? And so, that's the thing. When we say, hey, we've got this sense of, that maybe our market fit's not great, there's a number of factors that kind of go into it. And so it's a hard one to answer. And because it's got so many factors into it, it can be hard to kind of pinpoint the cause of it. And so it leaves business owners in the sense of overwhelm. And we're going to get into the impacts, right, which is kind of chasing ebooks and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of mindset, right, and so this is another cause, right? We're still on the cause part of it. One of the causes is just this thing that we have as humans, right, around self-worth.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and I'm just not good enough, right? And no matter, like, you might be, I don't know, as an example of bodybuilder, right? Once you've gone down to like 8%, 7% body fat and you are ripped, you're always going to feel, you're very susceptible to looking in the mirror when you're like 12% body fat and thinking I'm fat, no matter what people say to you, and that's a mindset thing.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't know what about your thoughts? So what do you think
well, it's so that's kind of the reason I asked the mindset question, because I think and it's definitely for sure self-worth, and I think it's often we don't value our own offering, or maybe the people we go to market with early on are friends and family, so we do them a deal, we discount, and I know certainly did this myself, and you get into this sort of friends in business type situation where everyone's your mate.
Friend zone.
Friend zone yourself. You know heaps about the friend zone, don't you, bro?
Oh yeah, bro.
We're good friends, eh?
Yeah, good friends. Except that one time, but we don't talk about that, right?
What was it? Was it one time at what? Like,
I don't know. I'm like this much taller than Nick, just for the record. So spooning only works a certain way.
So I guess that that's certainly one of those ones where you kind of fall into that trap of Auntie May or Uncle John or whatever, and so you do them a deal, and then what you actually do is subconsciously you actually devalue your offering, and you know, there's something about selling something at its full price, the price that you go to market and actually getting the price for it. And if you kind of have like an RRP and then you're discounting off that, what you're really sort of doing from an internal mindset perspective is you're devaluing your own offering and devaluing your own sense of worth, which is what you touched on right there. And it's very hard to get that back. It's very hard to then go and sell something at a full price once you've given 2 or 3 discounts, friends and family, because all of a sudden you're like, oh, what if people won't pay this much, or internally you've kind of accepted that that's the value of the product now. But yeah, it certainly will have a lasting impact on your business.
Yeah, 100 million percent. 100 million percent. So yeah, and once we know the causes, so again, there's a number of causes. We talked about low sales, kind of driving it, poor branding and messaging, poor marketing systems, poor sales systems, and then some mindset stuff around self-worth, self-doubt, and that generally just not being good enough and stuff like that. And once you know those causes, then I would try to identify those and try and tackle it there, right, in terms of solutions. But we'll get into some more specific solutions later. But it's good to just explore and find the cause, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to say what's up to Jace, Polly, Marilyn.
Polly, is Polly back?
Polly, yeah, she just said she feels like she's constantly changing her offering to suit rather than having a solid offering with solid messaging around it.
Hang on, so you moved to impacts of the business, and I love that, Polly. I love that you know that right? That's an impact of this sense of lack of market fit.
Yeah.
And competing on price is another impact, right? And yeah, I was going to get to that. So yeah, let's move to impacts.
And
right?
Jace has just nailed it too. He says Briscoe's is a perfect example of the businesses that people don't ever want to pay full price at, and they've literally, and that's what I was talking about there about the friends and family thing. They've trained everyone. Everyone knows unless it's 60% off, you just don't go to Briscoe's.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you do, you okay. Well, you like spending more money than you need to. So, and the big box retailers are the masters at it. They have the back end set up, they have the margin set up, they know exactly what their upsell strategy is. They do their own product sourcing out of their own factories in China and all that kind of stuff. So, it's when they do that, it's not 60% off, guys. They're still making a fuck ton of margin. Yeah,
right. And that's the thing. Like, I don't criticize their their business model, but it's not really their business model, but their market positioning model, right?
Right.
Like, who gives a fuck? Like, who loses? Briscoe's? No. Us as consumers? No. Who probably gets squeezed is the suppliers.
Yeah.
Right. So look, I get it. Like, discounting can and usually does lead to especially if you do it long enough, of training the market, right? Because why would you ever buy anything from Briscoe's that pretty much isn't 50-60% off? Because that
it's going to be a few weeks time or Easter or
right? Any fucking public holiday, there's a once in a lifetime sale. So I agree with Jace. 100% agree with Jace. Yeah. Hey Polly, just remind us, was there any homework from last week? I can't remember. It's nice to see. So we're on different feeds again, eh?
Yeah. I mean, the watch party seems to be the one that everyone's jumped in on. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know which.
Doesn't matter, man. Whatever.
Yeah. So I love that. Hey, anyone else? Again, anyone that's very keen on your thoughts on, when you have this. Sometimes you have this sense of like, shit, I'm not sure whether my products and services are the right fit for the market or attractive enough to the market. What happens to you and what happens to your business? So yeah, we'll talk about some of the impacts. So
let's move into impact. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, Polly said, constantly trying to tweak her offering.
And
man, that's a nightmare when you're a business owner. Right? You're trying to change the pricing, you're trying to change the system, you're trying to change everything about it. And it's and sometimes you're not even right. Going back to causes, sometimes you're not even trying to fix the cause, and you're just creating a whole bunch of work that is not actually fixing the problem. And the other impact that we can see is competing on price, which we kind of talked about earlier.
Yeah, and I can dig into that in a second a little bit more.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, grab that, man, because there's 3 areas where you can differentiate and you can compete on, right? One is product or offering. 2 is like customer experience or customer service, and then 3 is price.
Yeah.
We just jumped to this one, but you're going to talk about that one soon. The other one is Yeah, right. Where your avatar work is off, and therefore your branding and your messaging work is off.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's the impact. When you potentially got that, because you got this lack of confidence in market fit, then you're trying to oversell things or even undersell things.
And I think that's where a lot of that
confidence is not there.
That scattergun approach comes with your marketing and branding. Then, we'll send out 1,000 ads, or we'll send out this or that to just anyone, and that's when you start to get those clients that question the value you offer. Yeah, exactly, right. Marilyn. So bang on.
Bad cycle. What does Marilyn say?
As you just said, you're understanding your core offering. Exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
Totally agree. And one of the other impacts that having this low confidence in your market fit has on us as humans is we start chasing the magic bullet. And we go down ClickFunnels, we download ebooks, we listen to gurus. We think that these 2-minute tip videos, with the 3 ways to increase your market fit, or 3 ways to make your product
or whatever
highly desirable to your target market. We start clicking on these things and then spending our time and our focus on these things, which, as we know, as business owners, is probably our most valuable resource. And again, it just kind of gets into this bad, like, self-development junkie kind of cycle where you're kind of just chasing this magic bullet, like some guru's got it out there, like, Russell Brunson. And I love Russell Brunson, but Russell Brunson's I put a ClickFunnels in front of my thing and I get all my copy right, and man, my things are going to sell like hotcakes. But again, if you're not fixing the cause, again, maybe your avatar's off, maybe the product is shit, maybe your marketing shit, maybe your sales shit. If you're not actually fixing that, man, there's no magic bullet that's actually gonna fix it. And then we just get into this overwhelm of just chasing self-improvement because we actually don't have a lot of confidence in here, and so it becomes a mindset or a personal development issue.
And that need to people please or try to serve every customer is it's a freaking booby trap, man. It's a
booby trap,
right?
And that's why, after talking to so many business owners, this is one of the problems, because it's so big and ugly. And where are the causes? There's so many influences that cause this thing, and so it's so overwhelming. I don't know where to fix it. Yeah, that's why it's a problem.
There was a really interesting thread in the group earlier this week. A lady that was hitting
what's up, Jamie Smith,
to the promotions and products branding, and was struggling to find suppliers, and wanted pens and mugs and custom printed T-shirts and all of these products, and the core problem was that, I'm not getting the margin from the supplier because, I'm such a small guy and they can't look after me. And it's like, no, but why don't you go to market with 1 or 2 offering, 1 or 2 products that you can negotiate, and you can put all of your available stock fund into 1 or 2 products and drill down and get that product profitable, make sure it's what your market wants, and focus on that first. And then you can expand your range. You don't need to go to market with 19 widgets or 19 printed pens and T-shirts and mugs and coffee cups and I'm not this is not directed at an individual, but it's just about the mindset here of really like niching that product to fit your market. And Polly's just had a comment there which really relates to what I'm saying. She says, I think it's just I try to give people what they want instead of putting a stake in the ground and saying this is what I do. And I feel that that's exactly the same simile with what we had with the promotions, product and promotions business. So your Poly service based, this is a product based, but it's still the same piece of mindset popping up that, and I feel like it comes from an internal driver where wanting to make sure that you please your customers, or that you can try to help everyone that needs helping. And one of the realizations that you've got to come to as a business owner is you just can't help everyone in the marketplace, and actually you don't want to.
Yeah, agreed.
That's
agreed. We're going to come to solutions.
Yeah.
When it comes to solutions, but look, I agree. And again, it's kind of based off this thing around, right, low confidence in market fit. So I'll just throw lots of products so that I can, try and appease lots of market requirements.
Yeah, and Jason just said, it just follows on again really well. It says, spot on. Why do you buy from Harvey's instead of PB Tech, as an example? And I can buy cars from anywhere, but I always go to the same dealer. Well, that's, again, it's relationship, and it's those brands. I mean, and Harvey's is a great one. They know their positioning in the marketplace. They're not the budget retailer.
Harvey Norman?
Oh, yeah. Harvey Norman, yeah. they're not the budget retailer, but they're one of those retailers that does things really, really, really well. And you know, when you're going there, you're paying 10%, 15% more than you can get at some of the other retailers, but you get so much more value from the service and the experience that you're willing to spend that money. And I feel like as small business owners, I guess it's fear. It's a fear based. I'm worried that if I say no to someone, they might say bad about me. They might give me a shit Google review. They might. All of these things go on in your brain, and sometimes they play out, and usually they don't. But that again puts us into that procrastination, that freeze up cycle, that deer in the headlights. Fuck, what am I doing?
Look, and it's come up a couple of times, so I'm just gonna bank on this. If you guys didn't know this, for those of you that are kind of chasing some magic bullet out there or looking for the 7 ways to make 7 figures in 7 days kind of thing, just know that a lot of your business results, being net profit, being sales conversions, being lead attraction, all that kind of stuff, usually comes from a strategy, and that strategy is usually driven by your mindset.
Yeah.
So if you're coming from if you're coming from a fear-based mindset.
Yeah. So Nicole's just said, "Hey, look, trust and reputation. It takes a long time to build." I think I don't think trust takes a long time to build. I think trust takes a very short time to break. And so it's about you going to a marketplace, trusting that you've got a good offering, but then also not getting into a space of letting the market dictate what it wants to you, but what you give, what you value to the market. So reputation can take time to build, but it can also be built quickly if you use some smart, this concept of leverage. So who do you know that you can work with to expose your brand and to gain those testimonials, those opportunities, whether it be media, whether it be putting yourself out there, those kinds of things that can actually really accelerate. And if you look at the Eat My Lunch brand that started from nowhere and just went crazy in its first 6 months because it used a really good cause as well as it leveraged the media and its relationships really, really well. That's just an example of what can be done. So, but they were really clear on their mission and what their outcome was to the market. Yeah.
And so we've kind of gone into brand and kind of brand equity now. But look, I agree with the person. Sorry, what was her name?
Nicole. So the comment was just trust and reputation. It takes a long time to build, but it was with kind of question marks after it. And the answer is yes, but the answer is also no, if you're strategic about it, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. And I do think, but if she's coming from the place of go into it thinking that it takes a long time to build, then I agree, man. I got a comment too. I guess I just want to throw to the audience. So we're going to move off impact now. We're going to talk about solutions now.
Yep.
So if there's any other impacts that you want to share that have happened to your business as a result of the kind of this low confidence in market fit, which is kind of where we're going now, or any solutions that you've had to fix it, then let's.
Right, Jamie's just given us the best solution to start with.
Jamie Smith?
Yeah, do you want to read it?
Yeah, that's the comment I'm going to pick up. Yeah. So, as we move into solutions, Jamie Smith has kind of said, I send all the people I don't want to deal with because they want only curtains to a competitor.
They only want the cheapest
work.
Yeah.
It's low margin work, and I'm happy to clog up their workroom with that type of job. And, the concept here is, and I love it, Jamie, any work that you don't want, whether it's the type of work or it's low margin or it's not priced right, or
customers are pain in the ass.
Customers are pain in the ass, or they're those grad one kind of, they're only going to come here once anyway. Referring them off to a competitor is a good idea. And
outsourcing is what we call that.
Okay. And this comes back to your confidence around your avatar. So I love that, Jamie. I think, what I love about that is a sense of confidence, because, you have those other people that are on the other side of that mindset spectrum, and they're just like, oh, I got to convert this client. I got to do whatever they say, and you hear about the tradies driving around all day doing quotes. but not necessarily getting a lot of work, you know, and they're like, oh, fuck, I'm quoting all fucking day and I'm just not really getting well. And yeah, right, there's potentially, you know, your sales coach is going to be like, oh, fuck, you need to work on your sales system.
Closing and...
Yeah, closing and all that kind of shit. But also there's just like a fucking self-worth thing. Like, yeah, dude, you know, ask them how many quotes they're getting. You know, ask them, are they a price-based shopper or are they a value-based shopper?
Hey, so
before you even go and do the quote.
I'm keen to hear some more solutions. Jamie's one's great. I love it. What are some of the ones that you've used? Sure.
Hey, what's up, Clayton? Oh, you joined the show late, bro. I would have been keen on your input on a lot of these kind of components of this topic. But look, best solution is get it right from the start, right? And I know that's easy to say, but not easy, hard to do. But what I will say is, so that I do like that person's comment, that lady's comment, female's comment. You know, just go into it knowing that it's going to take a while to do this thing. And that's why I live by the motto, you know, make sure you're doing it for the love of it and not the profit. Because shit, you know, even looking at you and me, and I know we're going to do a Biz Shiz update soon, but to be honest, man, fucking, and any coach that tells you that there's a surefire way to build offerings, aka products and services, that 100% people will love and just grab it, is full of shit. It's full of shit, bro. Business is a journey, man, and you don't start business. Right, like any smart business owner will tell you, man, you don't fucking start business to make money. You know, to just get rich quick.
Right.
You know,
go and get a lotto ticket, eh?
Right.
Buy some
it's a
freaking
lifestyle
Bitcoin.
choice, man.
Right.
Yeah, you got to constantly evolve. You got to constantly develop, and it's like even if you wanted to be an All Black, you know, if I compare it to that, like fuck, man, you know, first you got to work on your speed, then you got to work on your pass, then you got to work on your tackle. And then you go up a grade, and then you got to go back and work on your pass again because it's just not good enough. It's the same in business, man. It's this constant development journey. So yeah, look, get it right from the start. And what does getting it right from the start look like? You know, do your avatar work. Yep. And man, that can take a very long time and can be a very thorough process. Yeah, you sit in a room and you theorize. Who's my target market? Where do they live? How old are they? What's their average household income? What are their psychographics? I think a lot of people miss that at the start. But also, you know, what are their influencers? What are their motivational buying motives? What are their drivers? You know, and could I walk up to them after you've done all that? You know, could I walk up to them and say, hey, look, I've built this for you. Is that of interest to you? So start talking to them, do market research, and start up where they call it market validation. We kind of call up and say, hey, look.
Mate, that was a huge thing that Flavio talked about last night was just, you know, just like all these people with these tech businesses. He's just like, man, like go and actually find out who your people are and then talk to them and really validate what it is that you're doing. Is that actually what the market wants before you go and spend thousands of dollars developing a website, an app, and right?
So I think it was about 2010 where the book came out and it coined the term, a little bit of history lesson for those of you that are interested. It was called market validation, right? And so all your good startup incubators, like Flavio will know this inside out, right? They all have these validation programs, right? And essentially what it is the original concept was, you know, call 100 people and you do a survey. You'd be like, oh, hey, if I built this, is that something you'd be interested in? If it was this size, if it was this color, if it was this price, is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And what they actually found was a lot of those actually turned into fucking leads. Because, you know, and you go and you tweak it and then you go back to them. If you know, you're smart enough to continue that conversation. And then you go, okay, cool, yeah, I made it this color, I made it this size, and I made it this price. Is that something that you'd be interested in? And they're like, yeah, actually, you've spoken to me. I'm validating. Yeah, I have that requirement. We can buy this thing, right? And so there's a lot of value in that market validation process. So avatar, market research, and market validation, which is slightly two different things. And then you know what? You should have a lot of confidence at this point because you've done the desktop, you know, the whiteboard session in isolation, the internal thinking, and then you've done some external thinking, right? You've engaged with the market. So you've got some qualitative data, some external feedback, right? And then you go in and you start doing your branding and your messaging. And when you're doing your branding and your messaging, obviously it's got to be like, you know, if I like, I don't know, let's say you're trying to attract a vegan partner, you know, versus a carnivore partner, like you're not really going to dress up in like, I don't know, a meat t-shirt and you'll be like, hey, you know, can we go for coffee sometime?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're trying to attract the vegan. And so that, I know it's a basic concept, man, but I mean, Clayton knows marketing. How many people, and even Flavio, right? That's a big issue that they see is when you've done all these avatar work, market research and validation work, and then they do their branding and their messaging, and it's so fucking off the work that they've just done. So it's about congruency from the start.
There's one solution Jason's just mentioned here is just, as you go, you can learn the skills to take those, those D-class clients, I guess the ones that maybe Jamie was talking about outsourcing, and bring them through the ranks into A-class clients. And I guess that's a product journey. He's talking about, they might only start with a $50 sale. And if you keep them happy and communicate with them over time, they may, follow your brand and go to, they may introduce clients to you or referrals. So, that's a great solution when we're talking to solutions there is, rather than, I guess, that whole bending and offering and all the rest of it, it's just like, okay, well, here's the bit of my service you can afford. I'll give you that bit. You're not going to get the full thing, and I'm not going to change and modify the full thing, but I'll give you a module out of what we do.
Yeah, right. And so that's what I mean. Like, we laugh at Jamie's thing as a joke. And it's a solution. And that's what I'll say about this topic, guys. Like, any dude that kind of tell you that they've got the fucking solution, the number one solution that will 100% work all the time, full of shit. That's why this is a discussion, because there's a number of solutions, because there's a number of causes. And let's be honest, that's how fucking complex business is. Anyone who tells you that it's, you just do these 7 things and then your business is going to be awesome, full of shit. Yeah. I just got off a call with one of my old mentors, man. Like, fuck, we're going back like 4 years, and he started this big e-commerce business, and he's just spent, like multiple 6 figures on some of the best e-commerce coaching courses and mentoring and coaching programs in the world, man. And he still said it just comes down to, learn as much as you can. Work smart, 20%, minority of the time. But man, 80% is fucking working hard, testing and iterating, and just constantly trying to serve your market better.
Yeah, there's certainly the argument about sharpening the saw, and that's a constant thing. And, but you don't have to spend hundreds of I mean, you can get an Audible subscription for $15 a month, and you can learn from all of the, while you're driving around in your car. I mean, so it's certainly not about that. Yeah, ebooks. Now,
some comments.
I was going to say, did you have one that you wanted to reply to? Yeah.
I want to say what's up to Daniel Witherall. Yo, what up, man? This is an interesting topic, Dan. Jamie Smith says, don't be afraid to change your avatar as well as you move up the business spectrum. 100 million%, Jamie. Right? Like, again, it's just like the rugby analogy, man. Just because you can pass at this grade or this level, when you go up a level, man, you got to go back and refresh it. Actually, you know what I do with a lot of my clients, especially when they're under $1 million a year, is I say every 90 days, we need to
redo it.
Whether we do it together or you do it by yourself, like, you got to revisit that avatar, because there's so many things that can change. One, your learning could have changed because you learned about what a D client is and a B client is, right? Or you got a whole bunch more D clients, or you got a whole bunch more A clients. So there's a client factor. There's environmental factors. We can start talking about pesty or SWOT analysis. But so many things can change, and you got to go and review that shit. Or you might have learned that, wait, we don't want to serve that market anymore. We want to serve this market. So your fucking avatar changes. So refresh that shit, and then that will drive the new business plan. Right, so every 90 days, I think when you're under mill, you're under 10 people, you're probably serving somewhere between 100 and 1,000 clients a year, kind of thing. A month
you got to stay quite fluid in that time
and dynamic.
Yeah,
right. And that's the thing. People think, I just keep doing the same shit and expecting a different motherfucking result. It's like, what's Albert Einstein? Yeah, you're literally crazy.
So Marilyn's got a really good one
James
too.
Smith's comments.
Yeah, Marilyn's
Jamie Smith's on.
He is. He's actually a legend. He's got an awesome business, man.
You know him?
Yeah. I've known Jamie for about 4 or 5 years now.
Introduce Jamie. Tell us. Who's his target market? What's his value proposition?
So he's in the Waikato, and he does custom blinds and curtains and furnishings, that type of stuff. But he's really clear about who he targets, and he's not in that what is it, Harrison's and those type that are sort of drive around and sell as many as possible. But he's just high quality. He's got a manufacturing plant there that he runs it all out of, and it's a genuine Kiwi business that does good shit.
Hey Jamie, humor me for a second here, dude, because I can feel and see and hear the confidence that you have. right? And so what you're saying, the thing is for you, this topic, you're interested in what we're saying about it. That's why I think you've tuned in. My question to you is, how did you get that confidence? Can you explain that in maybe one or two or three things? Because you've got that confidence. And I know when you, again, most business owners, let's be honest, most business owners, when a client comes in, even though they're a potential D class and they're just wanting curtains, which is a one-off job and it's low fucking margin and it's a pain in the ass, right? They'll be trying to change their schedule, change the manufacturing team, change the sales team to get that and convert that. And so that shows me that you have confidence. How did you get there? Because most business owners, in my experience, are not.
Yeah.
Right? And it might be time, it might be experience, it might be trial and error, it might be you nearly went bankrupt. Like if you can maybe drop out 3 points.
Yeah. I'm going to hit Marilyn's comment for quickly because it is still solutions related. She said things are hard out there for a lot of companies and sometimes we need to try and help. So she offers payment terms to companies that are struggling, which doesn't devalue her product. So she doesn't discount, but she might offer a payment plan. So instead of paying $3,000 up front, it might be $1,000, which is great. And I know a lot of people will also offer, when they do that, it might end up being $3,500 as an example. So $1,500 up front and $1,000 over 3 payments because you're sharing your risk with them and they're getting the product up front. You take a little bit more profit as well. So I think it's a great solution for that challenge. So I just wanted to say thanks for sharing that.
Here's a question. Yeah, thank you. And I've got a comment too that I want to jump on. But my question: how do you think she got to that solution? Very tactical, very specific, very industry specific, very situational. It's not going to work for all businesses. But what we can capture to share with the other viewers is how do you think she got to that solution?
It's a good question. I would say that. And it's real hard because I have no context about what she does as a business, but I would say that she's probably in a business where she has a decent margin in her product, so it's probably a service based, and she probably has some packaging. So rather than just being a website, she does a branding package, which includes a website, a logo, and a again, this is a total cold read because I just don't know anything about the business. But by doing,
I know, I'm putting you on the spot,
right? But by offering a high value to the customer, so you're going to get your branding, your website. We're also going to get your social media stuff set up and your templates and your PDFs and all that kind of stuff. And then saying, hey, but look, I know you're a new business, or I know that you're just making a change in your business. What we're going to do is we're going to allow you to finance it over 3 months. All of a sudden, the customer goes, shit, I'm getting a lot of value, and they're going to deliver this over 6 weeks, but I'm going to pay them over 12. Crikey, that's great. That's helping me in business. So, Marilyn, I'd love to hear back. Am I on point? Am I off? But that would be a bit of a cold read from my space here.
Right, and I'm going to drop this, bro. One sure way to improve your market fit and therefore your attractiveness of your products and services to your market is talk to your market.
Mm-hmm.
So what I read from that, she's got, like the Jamie dude, she's got experience in the market. She's talked to the market. She's tried different branding. She's tried different messaging. She's tried different lead generation systems, marketing. She's tried different sales system. She's tried different products and services. She tried a lot of things, right? But the key difference between trying shit and not, and it having an impact on this market fit thing or not, is that she said, hey, what's the issue here?
Yeah.
Right, I've spoken to you. You really want this thing. You really need this thing. You can see how it's going to be the solution to your requirement. It's going to meet your requirements. What's holding you back? Oh, it's just cash flow for us. We want it. We can see how it's going to work. But we just literally can't afford it. And that's different to, a pricing objection, if you know what I mean. You know sales, right? And so we won't go into that. There's another video, or show. But
actually, no, I know now. She was messaging me yesterday. She does websites and she does slick websites. Her website is one of the best digital marketing websites I've seen in a long time. How
many digital marketers websites?
Oh my gosh! Right.
With all due respect, guys, my website's shit too. I'm not trying to.
It's slick. It's there's before and afters. It loads quickly. The SEO's been done well. It's so now, Marilyn. Now I recall we were having a chat through the because she just said haha. So awesome, bruv.
Sorry. Hey, I'm just gonna say all lives matter, and Nick forgets conversations with females is.
Oh, that is so harsh.
Oh, that was
man,
harsh, eh? But it's true.
That's a sick burn. Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh, now it's time to fake a cramp in your butt again, like what you did last week.
I'm dying here.
Yeah, oh, just, I cut out. I'm frozen. My internet's
Yeah.
stuck. Okay, cool. I'm gonna jump on a comment
Cut the
too.
stream,
Is
otherwise.
this the comments? Is this the is this the comments part of the show?
Yeah, we're at 45, so we're pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Fuck, there's some engagement there. I want to respond to the people that
go.
yeah, okay, cool. Sarah Ferguson, I love this one. Kiwis traditionally undervalue their skills, their product, and their brand. It's all about belief in who you are and how you help consumers, i.e. value. So I agree, right? And she's brushing up on mindset again. I think actually one of the biggest causes of this is mindset. And yes, you can do all the tangible things, the physical things in the world to test it. You know, you can, and that's the thing I'll say about validation too. We'll come back to that. You can do all the things to test it, test different products, test different services, test different pricing, test different messaging, test different sales techniques, right? But at the end of the day, man, fuck, you've got to try and have some kind of level of confidence, man. And your avatar work and your market research and your validation work, man, that should kind of tick a lot of that box. Should give you a lot more confidence, man, if you've done it right and you've done it with rigor, you know. Yeah. That's the other thing I'll say about validation, man, is one thing I learned in startup world, and Flavia, if you're still watching, you know, tell me if I'm wrong on this one or give me your thoughts on it. But fuck, man, you can try and talk to 100 people and all that kind of shit, bro, or you can just run a shitload of Facebook ads and see what your clicks are like. Like, it's a really quick, systematic, and predictable way to get validation. Yeah, as a tactic. Mia King says, her market commanded it. Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
I think she was talking about Maryland there, yeah.
Maryland, yeah. Look, and I agree, but but if you don't, how do I say it, naturally and appropriately approach a conversation to have a real conversation with them, you don't know that they're commanding it. And that's the thing. You need to build this rapport. We forget that sometimes that our market are looking for a relationship with us. You know, like the perfect example, why go to Harvey Norman's and pay 10 or 15% more rather than, what was the competitor, PBT?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, any of the other retailers are not really in the same.
Relationship is value. Yeah, okay, cool, bro. Cool. So, yeah, you want to jump on Jamie? Fuck, that's a...
You hit that one, and then we're going to move to the...
Biz Shiz update?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear a Biz Shiz update? I don't know. People want to hear that shit? Let's ask. When we were in that 1 mil lower level starting out period, first 3 years in business, we took on as much as we could take, right? So just hammering that in those first 3 years, man, we just want to take any work we can, any leads we want to convert into
build a database, build a network, build a brand, build a reputation, right?
Blah, blah, bullshit, right? As we grew, we started to filter out lower margin work. Lovely. That's just good business practice. Like anyone, you only have so much time and or internal manufacturing capacity. Believe.
Yep.
So we now want to try fill that with the higher margin work we can. Yes. It took a long time, and you, of course, still need to survive. So sometimes any margin is better than no margin. I also listened to a lot of Audible podcasts and read a lot of books, plus had business coaches. You have to learn and improve your year on year as an entrepreneur. I fucking 1,000,000% agree with that, dude. Mm-hmm. It's a journey, man. Stop looking for the magic bullet that's going to solve your business. It's a journey. It's a marathon. Just get comfortable, man. Right? Ideally, you start a business that you love. So why not be here till you die?
Yeah.
And just keep continuing to learn. If you want to be a CrossFitter, you want to be a powerlifter, you want to be an All Black, just keep learning. Keep developing.
I know you want to be a CrossFitter, bro. I know you want to be a CrossFitter.
Don't choose CrossFit, right? That should
choose life. I choose life. Hey,
and just our solutions, right? Oh, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, Jace has just hit us with that one. He says the amount of people who think the brand's color logo are the reasons why they're not doing well.
Fuck me.
Right?
Fuck that shit.
And and then they're transferring the business because they're getting a new logo and he says he knows the many $10 million players in business that are in shitty offices with crappy old logos. Yeah, and it's true. Think about some of those engineering firms, man, that have been going for, like Jamie's business, forever. And it was like the logo was done when DOS was around, you know?
100% agree, man.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers want to fucking spend all their time on their fancy ass website and fuck, man. It's just, that's not the only thing that impacts your business, right? And your ability to serve a certain size of market share, right? Or just grow a big business, right? Fuck, I love Jamie. Thank you for your comments too, Jamie, man. Like, you're fucking solid, bro. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
So what was our solutions, right? Yeah, talk to your market, get feedback, do your avatar work, and know that it's a journey, and you're gonna just have to keep plugging away at this thing.
You know,
That's
and
business.
I want to
You chose
say
business.
one thing that I think is going to help with your mindset is celebrate your win.
Yeah, nice.
If you sell a product, ring the fucking bell, or whatever you do, a dance, have a, I don't know, like whatever it is for you, but celebrate that you got a sale. You know, we
love that.
in our mastermind last week, Jung, you know, and we had one of the guys in there that had just, his business had been wiped out, and you know, he came back and he had made the sales, and man, you could feel that, right? That shift in his approach. But like everyone on that call was just so happy for him. We celebrated with him that win, and I tell you, if it's like if there's one thing you take from today's talk, it's like that is the thing. Like, figure out tomorrow when you make a sale, how are you going to celebrate that?
Love it, love it, love it. Can I add another thing, man? Is fucking add your client wins stories into your team meeting every week.
Yes.
Right. So it's something I forgot. That's a tactic that I give all of my clients, right? When we're working into leadership and kind of culture building, right? One of the things we bring in is every week someone has a customer success story of the week. Man, I helped this customer and they got X outcome. You know, they were in a really shitty place, or you know, like those are such powerful and motivating stories, man. Yeah. Well done on the celebrate wins, bro.
Love it. Love it.
F-bombs. Oh, sorry. Is Jamie religious? So sorry, Jamie. I don't mean to offend. You're the fucking man, and thank you very fucking much.
Well, too bad if he's offended.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, he did a haha. So
champagne. Marilyn says champagne. Yeah, that's a great way to celebrate. I like my reds.
I like steak.
And I've been getting into gin lately, man. Gin is so good. Not too much though. Actually, who's the? I'm gonna put it out there now. I'm gonna do the dry July thing this year. Not for any reason other than just.
Bro, your jokes have always been dry. You don't have to wait every month. Like, it's just all year round they're dry.
Wow. Any better.
Bro, where's your shade at tonight, man? You ain't got no banter, man. Like, man, I'm feeling like my t-shirt's clean, bro. There's no dirt on it.
Okay.
See, that's what happens when you go to CrossFit, man. You just come back and you got no energy because you guys all
like the same joke every week with you, bro. Like,
bro,
like that's why I'm not biting because that's why I'm not biting because they're no good.
Man, Sarah Ferguson, I like your approach, Sarah. Right, because I agree with you. You know, like I've learned all the business science and tactics and hacks and strategies and stuff like that, and I agree with them. You know, the Jim Collins and the Tim Ferriss and all that shit. And I've seen them work in businesses. Don't get me wrong, but man, she comes from a mindset level, right? Don't be the person who has the gravestone that reads he/she settled. Don't be comfortable. Keep pushing and up your game year on year. 100%, Sarah. 100%. All right, we're gonna close.
Yeah. We're gonna do an update. Well, there's not much. Not a hell of a lot on the update. Yeah, update was Nick got sick last week. Pretty much couldn't work for like 5 days, but we did get the goal sheet done. So if there's anybody that wanted that from the show back, hit us on the DMs. That's done. It looks slick. It's one of the most challenging. In fact, I'll put it out there that anyone that takes that goal sheet and applies what's in that goal sheet over the next 12 months will be completely transformed in their business and in their lives. And that's how powerful I think that sheet is that we've worked on together.
I think what he just said is that we've got a goals worksheet, right? And we know that having clarity on a goal and which gives you motivation and clarity is a really powerful thing. And if you want it, what do they got to do?
You've got to get into the inbox on our page. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Drop us an inbox, a message in our.
Look at you, like Facebook noob, eh? Drop us an inbox. Yeah. Drop us an inbox, bro. What even is an inbox?
What do you call it?
Bro,
Someone's got dry jokes, and the only thing they can do is try to diss you on your culture.
I'll take care of Facebook.
Yeah, no, but if you guys want a really powerful goals worksheet, looking at something that I've developed over years and years and years, tested on, probably tens of clients. And hey, do you want to share your experience? I know we're closing, bro, but I don't give a fuck. Like, bro, I don't know. You want to close? You want to go and get some sleep? Because I think it'd be great to share your personal experience.
So look, I think I've used the framework that Jung's had over the last few years, and my life's shifted a lot from
bro, the last fucking year, bro.
Yeah, from from living out of my car a year ago, to being in a space of doing this now, and some freaking epic shit going on, and one of the things that we
wearing tight t-shirts.
Ooh, you love that though, eh? That's that CrossFit body, mate. Hey, I'm trying to make a point here, man.
Sorry, man. You just challenged me to give you more banter, bro. I was like, fuck, bro. You don't want to aggravate the dog. DM me, cuz.
I'm just going to ignore that one. Anyway, so the thing is that we took that goal sheet, and before we sort of repurposed it with our branding and stuff on it, really just pulled it apart again, and it's really now, it's not just about your business goals, but it's going to challenge you to really look at all areas of your life and get you into a space of like actually really answering the question of what the fuck do you want from your life. So I'm really, really proud of what we've created as a team there, and I'm really, really honored to share it to anyone who wants it. So yeah, jump on that inbox and.
Bro, did you say team? It was me and the designer. What the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
We did all
Wait,
that.
how many? Who even is the designer? Do you know?
I don't know shit. I think I just sent a Google Doc link, and then a week later, I just got some pretty pictures. I'm like,
hey, but I want to give a little bit of mindset here, like for people in business. Like he has no idea who's done the design. Okay, so that's about being able to let go of control. That's about being able to trust people that you're working with to get the job done. And it's right, because how many times do I just let you do things because I'm like, fuck, he's got it, right?
Yeah, right.
So there's some real stuff that I know that we've seen 100%. Mindset stuff pop up where I'm worrying about trust and needing to do it all yourself and those kinds of things. Like, got to get into that space where you can really trust, whether it's a partnership like we've got, or if it's a contractor or an employee. You've got to get to that mindset. I don't know what the fuck.
I'm getting laughing faces at my fucking smack talk, bro.
No, they're laughing at your face, bro.
Okay, all right, cool. Hey Sarah, look, can you hit us up, man? I'd really be keen on your thoughts on the goals worksheet, because I know you're kind of in marketing. I know you've done a bit of stuff. Actually, Jamie, bro, if you can, can we?
So for everyone who's wondering, you've got to send us an inbox. That means.
That's what Jester said. Jester said.
Yeah, I think he was taking. Bro, he's taking the rip out of you. But yeah, jump into the page.
Yeah, I know.
Jump into the page. So the last thing is just going to put it out there. We're still looking to put together a second biz squad. So if anybody is on here that would want to know a little bit more about that, we're taking applications at the moment. We're looking for a group of highly motivated business owners who want to come together on a fortnightly basis to discuss the challenges, when they actually really focus on taking action and moving themselves forward over a period of time. So that opportunity is available as well. And
I like that.
That's our update
next week.
Bro, do you know what you can do this week? Do you know what I'm gonna allow you to do the closing comment, my friend? Because that's the kind of friend I am.
Strategically, best way to tackle this doubt around your market fit is talk to your market. Whatever that means for you in your industry, in your business, with your configuration, just talk to them. You just got to talk to them more. From a mindset perspective, just check your self-worth and your self-doubt. And at some point, you've got to back yourself. And then tactically, celebrate wins. I'll bank on that one. And then, again, constantly be talking about wins that you're getting for your clients and your customers, because that's why we do this thing, is to help our market.
Oh, love it. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time, your attention, your hour on a Tuesday night, and we will catch you on the next one. Yo.
Later, bro.